Good morning, everybody, and welcome to ESO Daily. I am your host, Mr. Craven. Alright, guys. So, today in this video, I'm going to go over the updated version of the Sorcerer Healer. Alright. So, with Morrowind, we have a lot of positive changes, especially for all the other healing classes. So, I'm not discussing Templars and Wardens. We're talking about Nightblades, DKs, and Sorcerers, which up until this point have not been getting a lot of recognition. I just had somebody troll me yesterday, for example, about DK healers not being viable. Whatever. Now, up until this point, I have never put a Sorcerer Healer in a vet trial. It's never happened. Why? We all know why. Most people are going to completely frown upon it every day of the week. But now with Morrowind changes, this becomes completely 100% viable. Completely. So I want to go ahead and go over the changes, what I've done, and show you guys all the perks and benefits to the Sorcerer Healer. Alright, so let's get into this. Okay, so I'm running a Resto Destro build, so you're not going to see a lot of changes on the character sheet, but I will go ahead and show you guys this. Okay, so max Magicka's at 46,457, magic recoveries at 1,337, and max health is at a nice 20,006. That is with the pet out. You're also going to see my spell damage on this side at 1,834, and my spell critical is at 57.8. I really couldn't ask for any better. To the left, you're going to go ahead and see Magicka's at 60, health is at 4, and the Mundus we are running is the Thief. Also, we have max Magicka and max health food. Okay, and speaking of, I'm going to reapply that because that's going to drop off while I'm describing this stuff. Okay, now as I switch the bar, you're going to see the only major difference is really nothing. So once again, everything was pretty much looking the same. This is really nice, guys. This is a completely flexible build. Now let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and get into the skills and show you guys what we've done. Okay, now on the Resto staff side, we're going to be using Healing Ward. Now on 4-man dungeons, I always put Healing Ward on, but in trials, I typically, unless it's the DK or some reason I'm going to be using Healing Ward, I will usually typically switch out for Mutagen. So I don't need Healing Ward in trials, so I'll usually put the Mutagen there instead. Alright, so that usually gets replaced with that. Also, we got Healing Springs. We know why we use Healing Springs. It has an AoE effect. Plus, what it does is it restores 338 Magicka for each friendly target hit by the initial heal, up to a maximum of 3 targets. Combat Prayer. Once again, if you are a healer not with Combat Prayer, you might want to think about rolling another class. Every healer I ever use has Combat Prayer. Even if I take these two out, I'm always going to have Combat Prayer. Why? Because I slam my staff down to activate its blessings, healing me and my allies for 7,088 health. It also grants Minor Berserk, Minor Resolve, Minor Ward, and increases me and my allies' damage done by 8%. This is the buff that all healers should be running. Period. You want to increase that damage. Of course, on both bars, I'm going to be using the main heal for the Sorcerer Healer. This is the Twilight Matriarch. It is the necessity for the Sorcerer Healer. Because what it does is it commands my Twilight Matriarch to heal itself and up to 2 other friendly targets for 12,073 health. This is one of the better heals in the game. The only problem of it is if the Twilight Matriarch dies, you have a 1-second recast, and that can be detrimental if it dies. So keep in mind, guys, there are some negative aspects to the Matriarch. You have to watch what this Matriarch is doing almost at all times. Of course, I'm going to be running Inner Light on both bars because it's going to give me an increase of my max Magicka by 5%, and also giving me Major Prophecy, increasing my spell critical by 2,191. Also, I'm going to be running the Absorption Field. This is my alternative solution to barrier. I can slot barrier, but the only reason I don't like to slot barrier on the Sorcerer Healer is very, very simple, guys. It should be down here. Increase my, with Expert Mage, increase my weapon and spell damage by 2% for each sorcery ability slotted. I'm getting 4%. This increases my healing capability, guys, plain and simple. I can take more recovery if I go with the barrier, and you can do that. If you need more recovery, slot the barrier. But if you want more healing on your resto side, you want to use the absorption field, even if you don't use it, because most of the time you're going to be using Warhorn, and I agree with that. But I use the absorption field on this side so I can get that extra heal on my resto staffs because I'm only running 2 sorcery abilities to get that bonus. Now we're going with the Destro with the lightning staff on this side. We're going to be using, that's right, the elemental drain. Now I can't use typically elemental drain on my Nightblade or my DK. Reason being, I use the Sentinel for utilities, and you can do that with the Sorcerer Healer. But the nice thing about the Sorcerer Healer, it gets bonuses to lightning damage. I can use the destruction staff. I can make alterations in this back bar to run any type of ability. For example, in dark magic, I'll usually slot Shattering Prison. If a Templar is using this, the reason being, I'm going to basically use exploitation, which gives my team a minor prophecy, increasing their critical by 657 for 20 seconds. So for the Magicka users, this just gives them extra spell damage or spell crit. So that's what I'll usually use, plus it's a nice CC effect. So it makes it flexible. So if somebody's using Alley Drain, I'll drop it, I'll put in the Shattering Prison. But I don't, like I said, I've done normal trials on this, but never a vet. Never a vet on Sword Healer. It's never happened. Energy Orbs. Now usually I'm used to using Neurotic Orbs, but with the changes with Morrowind, it's probably the best solution for the Sorcerer Healer. Now you can run this on the DK Healer if you'd like, or any other healer, but I like it on the Sorcerer Healer because Sorcerer Healer lacks options for healing capabilities. In the past, this has been a problem because I've used Neurotic Orb for magic utilities. But Energy Orb now, go ahead and it throws the heals, so I'm getting a heal of 1,190 every 5 seconds to nearby allies. They also get the synergy effect, which is going to heal them, and they're going to get the utility which restores 3,960 magic or stamina, whichever is higher. So this utility is applied to both morphs now, where in the past it was only applied to the Neurotic Orb. You sacrifice that magic utility for the heal synergy. But in Morrowind update, this has changed. So on the Sorcerer Healer, I'm going to be using this. Empowering Ward. This is what keeps my Twilight Matriarch alive, not so much me. I don't really care because I slot up to 20,000 mark. I never go under 16 or whatever people do for whatever reasons. I always use the Empowering Ward for 2 reasons. It keeps my pet alive, so it doesn't drop. I'm not going to lose a heal. And it's also going to give me and my party minor intellect. This is going to increase our magic recovery by 10% for 10 seconds. This is why I use this. Plain and simple. I'll use this on my tank, and I'll use it typically on my healer. Sword tank or sword healer. Now my DPS, I might go with the Hardened Ward. It depends. But the Empowering Ward as a utility for my party is great because as they're getting this, my DPS, this could free up the utility for stamina users to use this more frequently since I lack shards. So, but keep in mind there is a GC effect on synergies, especially utilities. So we can't bank on that. That's why Elemental Drain's another perfect example, because any magic user is going to be using elemental damage, is going to get magic return. They're going to get the minor intellect. So this is really going to free energy orbs up for more stamina users. Okay, once again, we've discussed this. I have the Matriarch on both bars, Inner Light, and of course I have the Warhorn on this bar. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the skills. Now let's get into the gear. Okay, so this is how we've opted to do this. So I'm using a Lightning Staff of Necropotence powered. Why? It's increasing my healing done by 7%. I also glyphed it with increased weapon damage because even though I don't care typically about how much damage I'm pushing out, As a healer, this spell damage increase is going to increase my healing effects. So this is going to stack with the powered effect, and it's going to be great. And if anybody wants to know, if you're new to the game, want to know where to get Necropotence, you can get that in Rivenspire. All right. Now on the resto, I'm once again using a powered resto. The only difference is I glyph this with recovery, because as I'm weaving, I can utilize this to recover more magicka. You can go infused, but I like the power because I want to keep my healing percentage up as much as possible. Okay, so now I'm also going to be using a lot of divines. I only use one infused, the reason being because the sorcerer lacks a lot of crit more than any other class. With the Thief Mundus, I'm going to bank on a little, one more piece, 2 more pieces of divine than I typically would, because I want to keep that 50-something% in my crit value. So this is going to be the Divine Moloch Kina Head Max Magicka, and the reason we're going with Kina and not another piece is because it's giving us the 129 spell damage. Remember, there's a 10-to-1 conversion ratio versus spell damage and Max Magicka, so this is going to give me more bank for my money versus Max Magicka. And with 46,000 Max Magicka, I really don't need any more. So I want to go ahead with the Kina headpiece. I'm also going to be using the Divine Spell Power Cure Robe, glyphed with Max Magicka. And if anybody wants to know where you get Spell Power Cure, you get that in White Gold Tower. If you're new to the game, I would suggest doing normal. It's easier to farm that way. For the people who are, more familiar with the game, you can run the bet and then get your jewelry. I'm also going to be running the shoulders of Spell Power Cure in Divine. Now, I haven't upgraded this, but this is glyphed with max health. I just like that extra low cushion, but if you feel that's too much cushion for you and you want to keep it magicka, by all means, do as you will. I also have the Spell Power Cure Sash. Once again, Divine, glyphed max health. I have the Necropotence Gloves, Max Magicka Divine. Now, this is my only infused piece, and that is the Breacher of Necropotence, because I'm at that over that 55.5, so I'll opt for the infused just to get a little extra magicka. And of course, I have the Shoes of Necropotence Divine, once again, glyphed max health. And of course, I have the Necklace of Necropotence Recovery. I have a Spell Power Cure Ring, Spell Damage, and another Spell Power Cure Ring, Recovery. Okay, so that's how the gear is set up. Now, I'm going to go ahead, and I'm also going into the champion points here. So let's cover this. Morrowind's brought a lot of changes. A lot of people, are kind of a little wishy-washy about how they distribute their points. And yesterday I've discussed there is a margin for error, but we got to keep in mind that we have diminishing returns. This plays a factor, and all of these points will change depending on each build. You cannot go ahead and think that each of build is going to go ahead and apply to every class in every build. This is not the case. You want to go ahead and pay attention to your passives in your gear and how to make those adjustments in your champion points, because we have indifferent curves. So keep that in mind, guys. So in Blessing, we will 14. I'm never going to go for 15 because the 25 points for the 1 extra % is not worth it. In this meta, I guess you'd call it. I hate the word meta, but with these changes, critical heals become more essential. So we're going to go ahead and take Elfborn up to 17.45. Now, since I'm going to be weaving with the lightning staff and I'm going to be doing some damage, I'm going to go ahead and put Elemental Expert up to 6.85. And being the fact that I'm not using any penetration because I want the powered staffs, I'm going to go ahead and put 3,250 into my spell pen, and keep in mind that the light armor passives is giving us a 4,288 penetration as well. Now, also in Staff Expert, we're going 14.85 because I'm going to be weaving a lot, and especially with the Resto Staff, this is important because the more damage you do with the Resto Staff, the bigger the heal tick from that ability to your party members. Because I had a couple extra points left, and I am going to be dealing some damage, and just to place points, I put 2 in that Master of Arms, and I had nothing into the Ritual. Going over here, I put Ironclad at 13.47. This just gives me a nice, damage reduction. Everything's about reduce. I am not a vampire on this. I don't feel like I need to be a vampire on the Sorcerer Healer at all. I have enough recovery within my abilities, so I'm not going BAMP on this build. So with that being said, I split the difference between Hardy and Elemental Defender at 11.25 each. I put a few points into Thick Skin. There's not too many encounters that actually have dot damage, but you know, I have a couple points. I'm going to go ahead and allocate those points into Thick Skin at 5.23. Since I am going to be using Empowering Ward and Barrier, I'm going to put Bastion at 19% for 51 points. I'm also going to be healing myself, so I want to increase my healing received at 4.48. Going over here, I'm going to reduce the cost of my break free substantially by 14.46. I never want to get caught up. This is a little bit higher than I typically go, but it really works out nice. Going over here, we're always going to put Arcanus at 14%. Once again, I'm going to take into effect the diminishing return, and I'm never going to put the extra 25 points for the 1%. It's just not worth it. I'm going to put 14%, and I'm going to bank up tenacity because I'm going to be leaving a lot at 12.45. Now, given the fact that you can take a lot of damage, at times, depending on mechanics, I put health recovery up a little higher than typical because I like survivability. So I went 9.45 into my healthy. And of course, I had a couple points left, so I put my reduce of my roll dodge at 1 for 2. Okay, so that is how the champion points are distributed for the Sorcerer Healer build. Now I'm going to go ahead and see what the daily is. And of course, we're going to be running bets. You guys know I'm going to be doing this. So once again, it doesn't matter what I give you guys for a build. It's all about viability at the end of the day. And a lot of people are going to be like, you know, do you have to run Necropotence? No, you absolutely don't have to run Necropotence. I like Necropotence on the Sorcerer Healer. I'm never going to use a trial set for a Sorcerer Healer. Why? I'm using a Twilight Matriarch. The Twilight Matriarch with Necropotence makes complete sense. I'm going to get more heals out of it using that versus any trial set. It's unfortunate, but it's the way it is. It's the way the game's designed. I don't need any reduction or recovery because I'm using abilities that give me that. So this is, for me, this is the better solution. I have the whatever, but let's see what this is.
Spindle Clutch.
Spindle Clutch? Okay, that's 2.
Your gear has died.
Dire Frost? Okay. Dire Frost's last one can be a bitch. Up until that point, it is what it is. Okay, so I'm going to switch my role once again. We're going to go to Dungeon Finder. I'm going to go to Specific. I'm going to go for the Spindle Clutch 2. And, of course, I'll hit the Dire Frost. Now, if I queue in with the voice, you guys know I'll back out of that. So, and like I said, guys, this is just really, I love the Sorcerer Healer. I've always had an appreciation for Sorcerer Healers. Now, let's say if you didn't want to use Necropotence, for example, that you can go with any other healing set. You can go with, like, Combat's Physician. That's a great set. You can get the shield, increase your crit, run up a precise. You don't have to go with the thief then, and then you can offset the difference by using the ritual. You know, if you wanted to do something like that, that's completely doable. You could also go with crafted sets. One thing I always do up until I get to 50 is I run crafted sets on my healers. Because, you know, trying to farm for low level gear and just out leveling it's just unnecessary. And that's another thing I really like about this game because it makes it completely viable. If you wanted to go with more flexibility gear, you could even use something like Twiceborn Star, run up the Thief, and then maybe run the Ritual, for example. Run up those 2 Munduses and then run up with Spellpower Cure. This keeps up flexibility. You can just change out your secondary gear and then run up you know, something else if you want more flexibility in your gear options. So a lot of options with Sorc Healers. Lots. Now, one thing I really like about PC, and I saw your comment, but I can't hear it, and I'm on console. So unfortunately, just leave a comment. Once again, I can't hear your comment, but the one thing I really liked about PC is Sorcerer Healers are more abundant. I mean, it's so awesome. Like, I was on my Sorc tank, and we literally literally had a team of nothing but sorcerers. We had a Stam Sorc, we had a Mage Sorc, we had a Sorc Healer, and I was Sorc Tank. And we blasted through the dungeon, like annihilated the shit out of the vet. I was like, oh my god. It was just beautiful. And the Sorc Healer just did such an awesome job. I mean, he knew his build, he knew his rotation, he had it down pat, and it was just so fluid. So that's why I'm always kind of disappointed with a lot of console players most of the time, and I'm not saying all, so please don't take it the wrong way. But a lot of console players are just naive. They've been fed so many things by other YouTubers, and it's disappointing, to say the least. And when you go to the PC, it's so not like that. Like, there are players out there that, you know, will cookie off of other players, and, you know, they have some of that backwards mentality. But most of the time, you'll see players who are doing their own thing. They do it efficiently. And you'll have, like, bad experiences no matter where. But all of the different things that you guys see is just so badass. And I love the fact that when you get pulled into a dungeon now, you don't have to recast it. That's just awesome. I think I'm pulled out all the way. I'll always go ahead. Now, once again, with some of these changes, some people might not know to hit the healing orbs, because most of the time a lot of people would go ahead and just let it go and let it heal, right? It's what we're more typical to, unless you wanted the instant heal. But now with these changes, guys, you want to hit it, especially if you're low in resources. It just pays. Now, I never use the Matriarch unless it's needed. So it's kind of my, like, you know, instant heal to top ops. Now, once again, I'm going to put the Ellie Drain. I want to keep all of these utilities up as much as possible. We're going to blow the War Horn. Reapply the shield, come back, keep everybody buffed up at all times. Now, anytime you're running low, you want to weave up with your lightning staff to get the benefit of the Ellie Drain for yourself. Now in this situation, this is where I'll throw the field. Keeps everybody healed. And once again, if I'm low, I'll weave up with the lightning staff. Okay. Once again, hit with the LA Drain, get the shield up, pop the war horn. Make sure that combat prayer stays up. I need to put my buff indicators up sometime. Once again, I'm going to go ahead, and once that's applied to LA Drain, if I'm low, see, they don't really know about it, like getting the utility from the healing orbs. Most people are used to like letting the healing orbs go and just proccing it if they need to go ahead and get that that instant heal. But now it functions just like a utility, guys. So pay attention, man. A lot of changes. I mean, and it's just adjustments, man. Just getting more familiar with everything and making, you know, getting more accustomed to it. But I love the changes. With all these changes, this healing class now becomes completely friggin' viable for vet trials, and I friggin' love it. I'm gonna do it. Believe you and me. Sooner or later, it's going to happen. Once again, if I'm low, I'm gonna go ahead and weave up on my own lightning staff. Nobody knows, guys. Like, nobody knows. I mean, like I said, it's just like, hit the orbs, hit them, hit them, hit them. Once again, guys, when I'm in a big room like this, I'll probably type to him. Okay, once again, if I want to... Nice. Very nice. Weave up on the lightning staff. I don't think anybody's gonna have this quest. No, don't skip. Oh, I hate when we skip. I hate that. Yes, yes, go. I love the Twilight, man. Now, if you didn't want to go with the healing orbs as a sorcerer and you wanted to go neurotic, you can. I did that forever. But with this update, I just like the extra healing ability on the staff now. It allows me to go, instead of dual resto, it allows me now to go with the lightning. And if I want to use the LE, which I probably will, most of the time on this build, works out nice. Just doing something so small like adding utility to the orbs like that was just a blessing. Once again, while they're in the field, they get heals. Switch out. Drop some more magicka. Nice. Don't use too many shoulders, but divine shoulders, that's pretty good. See, if that drops, that's from my fault not keeping my ward up, and it got hit, and I can't. That is a huge deal, guys. Always, even every once in a while, do a check, because if you don't have to cast it, it won't. It'll just do the heal, like, you know, proc, whatever. Sorry, that's my dog. But so here we go. We're definitely doing scroll. That's for sure. As long as they know how to pull away, we're good. They don't. Okay, there we go. Fall away. I'm gonna give you orbs. Once again, just gonna hit 1 second. Odin, stop! We're gonna move up. Oh, he's out of my range. Oh, snap! Oh, right when I was trying to roll, I hit the friggin'... See, this is what happens when somebody... It's going to kill us all. Except me in the tank. God, I don't know. Get off me. It's almost like a reset. Dude. You have a staff. And you have the friggin' skin? Really? How? Shit. God dang it. Every time. Ugh. Every time I'm trying to... This is why I don't like healers rezzing. Multiple reasons. Wipe it. Seriously, guys. This dude has the skin from Maw. Like, he's got the skin. I said, hit orbs. Hit orbs. I already told him. I'll tell him again. A lot of people don't know the changes. They're so used to playing the old ways, and you know, I get it, but jeez, Matesus. Try one more time on hard mode. Somebody get his ass up. How don't you see a giant circle? I'm sorry, guys. My kids are home from school. I'm recording. Thank you. Once again, get these friggin' orbs, guys. Get off me. me. Nice. They are ignoring those orbs. They're so not used to it. You could spell it out for some players. Watch it. God. Oh shit. Oh my god! I got hit with the bolt and the sap at the same time. Bullshit. What are you guys doing? Does anybody pay attention to the icon up there? You're without a healer. Get off, get off. Okay, sweet. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Get away, get away, get away, get away, get away. Definitely one of the more bitch bosses for sure. Yep. What sucks is I'm kind of stuck on this bar trying to give them friggin' balls, and they're still not hitting it. Dude. Oh my god, what? Every time the bolt and the drain at the same time? Come on. I don't care if I get drained, I can break away. But when she does the bolt and the drain to you at the same time as a healer, you're kind of fucked. There we go. It's slow and daunting process. We'll get through it. Oh no, are you kidding me? Hit the ball. Nice. Nice, finally. Okay. She's a resilient bitch. Don't think so. Try again. There it is. Told you guys we get through it. They didn't hit the ball as much as I like Prosperous. What the and Hulking Drug or Resto Staff? Really? Okay. Alright guys, so once again, this is how it kind of breaks down. Nice first time I did it on this tune. Shit. It tells you how much I actually play this one with the Sorcerer. Anyways, this is kind of, it demonstrates whatever. You guys, for anybody who's going to be seeing orbs, even the healing orbs, I know that most of you guys are used to letting them pass because of the heal effect, heal over time. Just let them go through, let them heal. But that's no longer the case. You can utilize that for the utility, guys. So you really want to see, I get it. It's a called situation. But seriously, guys, you really want to go ahead and utilize this. Because, look, it's going to restore almost 4,000 magic or stamina, whichever is higher. And as you guys just seen, they weren't hitting those as frequently. Yes, it has a GCD. I get that, but they really weren't hitting it as frequently as possible. But the Sorcerer Healer now becomes a complete viable situation. I mean, my resources were a little daunting because this is the most expensive, one of the most expensive heals I have, right, guys? I don't want to be using the Twilight Matriarch like I just did, right? I really kind of want to bank more on my Resto side and use the Twilight Matriarch as a fill heal. A fill heal. So I want to fill heal with it. And I want to more or less use the orbs, frequently, keeping in mind the global cooldown and, when it hits. And I want to keep applying the elemental drain, keep those resources up. I want to keep the empower ward. I want to keep that minor intellect up at all times. I want to use my warhorn as frequently as possible, but on mob pools, I'm going to be using the absorption field. If I'm in a trial, I'm going to probably get rid of healing ward. As you guys can see, I only use that as an oh shit button, but in trials, I would go ahead and, like I said, replace that with mutagen. But there it is, guys. Once again, viability proven. So for everybody who says, Sorks can't heal, Sorks can't do this, Sorks can't do that, I hate to burst your bubble, but they can. I want to thank everybody for watching today. If you have any questions or comments, post below. And once again and always, thank you and have a nice day.